Okay, so we had a great RIA meeting last night, Thursday, March 12th, 2020. Amazing turnout, amazing meeting. Our meetings are usually held the second Thursday of the month. In April of 2020, it's going to be the first Thursday of the month, but I'm not getting into that yet because our next meeting we're having in 1 week on Thursday, March 19th at 57 Ballard Avenue in Valley Stream. It's going to be a quick peek, 7 to 7:45 p.m. Very interesting deal, a lot to talk about, taking forever. Interesting things. Second of all, obviously, if you get any value out of these, please like the videos. That thumbs up is a big deal for us. Comment, that helps us. We respond to comments right away. Share. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So that's housekeeping. Point today is another mindset issue, right? The mindset issue is how you deal with setbacks. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure where I'm going with this, but let me talk about it. So, what I see, right, and what applies to me for sure, and I'll give some examples, is that your approach to setbacks really determines what's important to you. So here's what I mean. If you've decided you want to be a real estate investor slash wholesaler or whatever, and you have a bad month, a bad deal, a bad experience, right? Maybe you had a deal that you thought locked up and then it died. Maybe you've been calling regularly and you haven't gotten good results. When those things happen, how you approach them will determine everything and will illuminate what's really important to you. So let me explain. If you're determined to make this your livelihood, you will approach those examples as setbacks, minor setbacks on your path to where you're going. If you are not serious about it, you will approach those as failures or as major obstacles. So let me give it an example. Let me give a few examples. So back in 2013, I was sort of dabbling. 2012, I was dabbling in real estate investing, and I also started like a consulting company. I had been in the mortgage business for a long time, like 16 years, and I started a company to help small mortgage companies sort of sell their loans in the secondary market in a more profitable way. And it worked. It started out pretty good. I got a couple of clients, and it was working out great. And then I was dabbling in this, and what happened was that in the consulting business, all my clients sort of dropped out over a couple of months for all different reasons. And in the real estate investing, things had gone better. Now, if I was determined to build a consulting business for, I call it secondary marketing for mortgage companies, I could have continued in that field. But I looked at it as, well, maybe this isn't working out, maybe I should focus on real estate investing. But my point is, how I approached it was up to me. Right? And I made a critical mistake. I wasn't really marketing for new clients, which was stupid. And in real estate investing, we had raised money and we had deals coming in, and it seemed like that was what I was going to do. But there was a period of time afterwards I was thinking, maybe I should have gone back to that. I'm not talking about looking back. I'm talking about I didn't really want to do that, right? Because if I did really want to do that, I would have looked at those setbacks and said, okay, now I need to really put my nose to the grindstone at work. And in real estate investing, we have setbacks all the time. Deals that are supposed to close that don't close. Deals that close and you make less money. Deals that you think you're going to make money on and then die. A seller flakes out on you. All kinds of things. A buyer asks for a price reduction. Whatever it is. So if you see yourself doing something, you have to be incredibly committed to it and understand that it's going to take a long time and understand that there's going to be multitudes of setbacks. If you approach them as a setback, this is a setback, but I'm still on my path, then you have a chance to succeed. Most people don't succeed at most things that they do because when things get tough, they use as an excuse to quit. So these are some of the things I hear all the time. I started wholesaling a year ago, but then I had a baby and I couldn't give it the time. Well, how much time were you giving it before? 4 hours a week. I'm thinking, even with a baby, you can come up with 4 hours a week. I started uh, making calls, but I didn't have a lot of success. How many calls did you make? I don't know, a couple hundred. And I've said this before, I'm going to say it probably 1,000 more times. The difference between the successful people and the unsuccessful people is that the successful people have failed a million more times than the unsuccessful people. And successful people have looked at it as a setback on their path to success. Whereas unsuccessful people look for setbacks and use them as excuses to quit. I hear it every day, all the time. Well, I started it, but I didn't have success with it. And this business, there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Just negative feedback, right? You're calling people, and a lot of people are going to be angry at you and yell at you. And this call reluctance that I've spoken about before, I was a stockbroker a long time ago in 1993. It's a real thing, right? You don't want to get on the phone and call people who are going to reject you. So, in order to get over that, you have to have the right mindset to move forward. And what that means is that you say, I'm going to do this either I'm going to do this forever until it works, and I'm going to get feedback from my setbacks and talk to people. So, you can always call me and talk to me about these things, right? Seth Godin has a great book called The Dip. The dip is about when you start something, it's usually pretty good initially, and then there's this huge dip where things basically turn to crap. And the people that can get over that dip are the people that are successful. I think I gave an example that people go pre-med and then they take organic chemistry, and a vast amount of people cannot do well in organic chemistry. It's too complicated for them. That's the dip, and it makes people stop going to pre-med. Right? There are plenty of people who stop pre-med for other reasons, but I'm saying there is some kind of dip. And in any venture you start, initially things seem great, and then there's some kind of dip, right? You don't get clients, you don't get customers, you lose deals. And then you have to, the question is whether you view that as a dip, like this is a temporary thing, or whether you view that as an indication that this is not going to work. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, right? But your approach to how things are when they go bad is going to determine whether this is something you really want to do or not. So people tell me all the time, I really want to do this, I really want to do this. And when I get into the nitty gritty, they're not spending any time doing the things that they need to do. It's hard. And then they look for a shortcut. Maybe I can pay somebody to do it. Maybe I can outsource it. And sometimes that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying it's not. But the question is, how do you view it? Do you view it as a setback on the path to success? Or do you view this as an excuse to give up and not go any further? And I'm not saying that there aren't things that happen that indicate this is not right for you. This is not right for everybody. You may tell me something and I'll go, you know what, it's just not right for you. But if the amount of your determination will clarify how you look at things, right? Somebody told me once what I started doing it, but then the crash happened in 2008, and I'm like, that was a time where everybody I know who's in this business made the most money ever. There were more deals to buy than ever before. If you could look at that crash and say, "Oh crap, I got to get out of this business," or you could look at that crash and say, "This is the most amazing opportunity in the history of real estate investing," and it was. I'm sad I missed it. Right now, I'm not saying I would have been in it and with flush with cash and happy. I probably would have gotten slaughtered like a lot of people did. But they found a way to take advantage of the situation and get out of their hole. So the amount of your determination and how you approach setbacks, problems, dips, issues, the amount of your determination determines whether this is going to be something that you get through or whether you don't. You have to accept the fact that there's going to be tons of setbacks and tons of problems, and you have to have the mindset to get through it. If you do, this could be something that's extremely lucrative. But you got to think about how much time it is. It takes a long time, and how you approach problem negative issues, whether they're short-term setbacks or whether these are, failures. And it's important to think about how you think about it. And we're here to talk about it. If you want, give me a call. I'll be happy to discuss it with you.